What up? What up? What up? Rec League Podcast, man. This is episode number 17. If you a first timer out there, I'm horrible about this. If you a first timer, I am your host. My name is Randy Little. It's 17 episodes. This is probably the second time I've introduced myself. My bad for the last 15. On today's episode, we got a couple headlines: Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, It Chapter 2 trailer. We briefly acknowledged that the Angel Has Fallen trailer came out, and then we get into Chris Rock being involved in the Saw reboot, reimagining, spin-off, sequel, whatever it's gonna be. And then, of course, Batman being my favorite superhero and comic book character, I was not going to let an episode go by and not acknowledge the casting of Robert Pattinson as the new Batman in the Matt Reeves 2021 Batman movie. But then the core of the movie segment is going to be my guy Nick Goodman, Eric Sigmund, Awesome Joe. They've been on multiple episodes, but we talk about bad theater experiences. Going to the movies, trying to get tickets, being in the movie, and just having just a horrible time or just a negative experience. Because most of it, the four of us at the very least, we go to the movies pretty much weekly. So yeah, there's gonna be some negative experiences. So we chop it up, and it's funny, man. It's really funny. That's what. Like I said, if you're a first timer. If the Rec League Podcast is a hamburger, man, you got your buns, you got your toppings, you got your all beef patty, man. Most episodes, that movie segment is the all beef patty. Everything else is bun, topping. Sports, I was gonna have Old Man Lawrence come on and talk about that Deontay Wilder fight. Honestly, man, first round knockout, I don't know what he was gonna talk about. He's probably mostly gonna talk about the undercard. I will touch on the NBA playoffs. The sports is going to be short, man, because of the last minute change up, man. Life intercepted the plans, and Old Man Lawrence can't make it. So y'all know I got bars. I try to have bars every episode. I got bars today. And then I'm going to talk about that Logic, that Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. We touched on the single Homicide with Eminem last episode, and this was before the album announcement. Had I known the album was days away, I would have waited. And just talk about the whole album like I'm about to do. I don't know, man. The Stanley Cup is almost set. Take me at my word, man. If I'm anything, I'm honest. Integrity is big with me, man. I was in the Air Force, man. Integrity first is the first core value. And I'm going to get Roberto on like I did with the Stanley Cup playoffs. He did baseball predictions. He did World Series talk. Within the next couple episodes, is it Stanley Cup predictions, NBA Finals predictions. We'll get on, me, Roberto, some form of Old Man Lawrence, International O. I'll get friends on, and we will talk and predict sports. Which reminds me, like I'm saying about integrity, man. In 2 weeks, no episode. Godzilla comes out, Rocket Man comes out, Ma comes out. I want to watch all three of those. I can't go see 3 movies, do 3 reviews, and then wake up and give you guys a good podcast. It's just not going down. So, I don't know, what is it, June 2nd? There won't be a show, but the 16th. The next show will be June 16th. Be on the lookout. That's when, with my luck, the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Stanley Cup finals, the NBA finals, they'll all be over, and I'm giving you guys predictions. Is you play the ball how it lies, man. It's just how it goes, and then hopefully we're right. But we're never right. Just go back 2 episodes ago and listen to Roberto's Stanley Cup playoff predictions. I don't know if I know he didn't have the Bruins in the playoffs. I know he didn't have the Bruins in the Stanley Cup Finals, man, so who knows if he's going to have the other conference right, man. But let me get y'all with these poll questions right quick. Again, if you're a first timer, I try to post at least one poll question a week on Twitter. Sometimes I don't just because nothing hits me. Um, like last week, I didn't like when the Hustle and Pikachu came out. Just nothing hit me. But this week, I had two, and Avengers is entering its third or fourth weekend. So I posted on my personal at Randy underscore little Twitter page. Avengers reign at the top is over. The Baba Yaga's coming, and my guy, y'all know him, y'all love him, man. Old man Lawrence, he tried to say that Avengers was gonna win this weekend, and I literally typed out, since old man Lawrence want to come at me, which movie wins the box office next weekend? Avengers Endgame, John Wick 3, and your two choices. I threw other in there because hey, who knew if A Dog's Journey was gonna make 80 million opening weekend? Anything is possible. The poll went 50-50. And actually, old man Lawrence said he accidentally clicked John Wick, so Avengers technically won, but the results show 50-50. And my other poll question, with the return of the Baba Yaga, what's your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? My choices were Bill and Ted. There are two. I mean, click Bill and Ted. It counts for either one. Who cares? Speed, The Matrix, John Wick. 62% of votes went to John Wick. Can't even be mad. I love John Wick. One of my all-time favorite action movies and franchises. The Matrix got 25. Speed got 13. Speed, the older Speed gets, the more criminally underrated it is. Like, a lot of y'all need to go back and revisit Speed. The first Speed is phenomenal. The 3-arc structure, a big action sequence, every structure, an intense villain, like Sandra Bullock, star-making role, Keanu Reeves killing it. Like, it's a very dope movie. No votes for Bill and Ted. I don't get it. Like, I retweeted as much as I could. Like, let's get one Bill and Ted vote. But, man, it didn't happen, man. And but again, because there's important things I want to say. And I forget. I just forget. It's just what happens. If you guys have bad theater experiences you want to talk about, if you want to talk about your favorite Keanu Reeves movie, if you're on YouTube, drop a comment. If you're audio only, Spotify, Anchor, Radio Public, Stitcher, however you're listening to Rec League, man, drop a voice message. There have been app updates on Anchor to where you don't have to be on Anchor to kick a voice message. I'll read them off. I'll play them on the next episode. I will get y'all on the air, man, because that's what I wanted to do with bad theater experiences, but I did it Thursday. Like, I didn't give everybody enough time. I want to know about y'all bad theater experiences. That will be the next movie segment, just me reading comments about people who have had horrible theater experiences, an altercation, you got spilled on, technical difficulties with the movie, man. Like, we covered it all. And in closing, man, because I don't want to, like, I've ended up putting this in the intro instead of putting it in the movie section, just because I think it's more natural. But recent theatrical releases, man, Detective Pikachu, The Hustle, I reviewed those on my Randy Little YouTube page. Check those out. Palms came out, like some senior citizen cheerleading movie with Diane Keaton. I think I touched on Long Shot and The Intruder on the last episode. John Wick, A Dog's Journey, and The Sun Is Also a Star are the recent releases. In the next couple episodes, the next couple weekends, I'm not going to cover every weekend that I expect not to have a show, because then I'm going to get into X-Men and Shaft, Secret Life of Pets. Aladdin is about to come out. Brightburn, Booksmart. I want to see all three of those. With my luck, I'll see one. Then, like I said, Godzilla, Ma, Rocket Man. I'm excited for all three of those movies. They all look great. And then Blu-ray and DVD. Happy Death Day to You recently came out. Cold Pursuit recently came out, Fighting with My Family. And I watched Fighting with My Family yesterday. I really liked Fighting with My Family. I wish I would have seen it in the theater, and I didn't get a chance to. Um, Next weekend, or next Tuesday, that's my bad. How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World is coming. Um, what else is coming out? Oh man, oh shit. What else comes out with How to Train Your Dragon? I'm seriously brain farting. How to Train Your Dragon comes out. The Warner Archive is putting Shaft's Big Score and Shaft in Africa on Blu-ray. But there's the upside with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston is coming out. And then I'm not even gonna pretend to know what comes out like the 28th, because I'm not buying anything, so I don't know what comes out that Tuesday. But then the Tuesday after, like June 4th or whatever, I know Batman vs Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then some DreamWorks animation upgrades are coming out. But that's it for the intro, man. When I come back, I'll be with Awesome Joe, Nick Goodman, Eric Sigmund. We'll chop it up for a lengthy discussion, movie topics, and bad theater experiences. Like I said, man, stay tuned, man. Rec League Podcast. All right, I got my usual panel, Rec League Podcast. Like I said at the top of the episode, we're going to talk a couple movie trailers. There was like some kind of in-passing Batman stuff, but we're going to talk about some bad theater experiences. And, let's just start off with that Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. What was it? Tom Holland came out and said that there's going to be like a plot twist on the same level as like finding out that Vulture was What's-Her-Face's dad. I feel like that plot twist is going to be, hey, Mysterio's been bad all along. I mean, right. What y'all think, man? Eric, man, like start off with what you think about the Spider-Man trailer.
Well, I think it was cool that they didn't just assume that everybody would have seen Endgame, and they had Holland, give a spoiler warning at the beginning. I think that was pretty cool. And I think anybody who's ever watched movies and the history of movies know what the plot twist is gonna be.
Yeah.
Unless they pull a double switch or whatever, but we'll see. But the trailer itself looks great. I think it's gonna get real personable with Peter Parker and his relationship, and I'm curious to see how his relationship with forget it.
Mysterio, Nick Fury,
Sam Jackson, Nick Fury. There we go. I'm curious what that relationship is going to spawn into, if anything, because I don't think they're going to make Happy his look up to father figure, or whatever. They could, because he's going to be obviously
he's trying to mac on AMA.
Yeah, but it's a lot of interesting possibilities that could go with it, and this is supposed to be the last movie of Phase 4, right?
Yeah, Phase 3, yeah.
Yeah, Phase 3. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, Phase 4 is coming. But no, they got to make it go out with, with a bang, so to speak.
Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely interested. It's up there, mostly highly anticipated movies.
All right. What you think, Joe?
Well, actually, I was very fascinated with the trailer. The trailer was really, really awesome to watch. I find that the movie did have a lot of spoilers regarded towards the Endgame movie. But the thing is that if you are a fan of Spider-Man, then you would be very familiar with the fact of having to go to the theaters and watching Endgame. Yeah. So if people were spoiled by the trailer, then that's their problem. But the fact is also that, yes, like what you mentioned earlier, Tom Holland did release that spoiler warning so before the trailer premiere. So that's so it's really nobody else's fault but the viewers themselves. But I think that if it's going to be there is going to be an in particular plot twist. but it's not going to be anything that's going to be very obvious because yes, as we all know, that Mysterio is going to be the villain of this movie, and even though that he throws himself being this heroic partner to Peter Parker in the movie, yeah, it's going to start off in that way, but then of course it's going to turn around, making him being the because I remember in the comic books that Mysterio is in fact, you know, a more jealous type of character that wants to be a hero but is not identified as a hero, so he has to pretend to make himself into that certain direction to be viewed as one. So he puts Spider-Man in a difficult position, making him fight different set of monsters or any type of in particular creatures. So that I'm pretty sure that that's what we're going to be experiencing into this film. But I know that I did hear about a theory that Zendaya's Mary Jane her dad is going to be Nick Fury. I don't know if anybody ever got that theory, but when I saw that theory, I was like, interesting. You know, we're gonna probably get another, like how we got it in 22 Jump Street. You know, like the guy you slept with the captain's daughter. So I thought that would be really, really cool if that were to happen. So, but I don't know. We did get something. We did get that same plot twist in the first Spider-Man film. So I don't know if they're gonna want to do that again. But I think that it would be really cool to do so. But also, what we remember from the Avengers Endgame movie, I'm not gonna throw out anything about the film, but the fact of what happened at the end, which is of course nothing happened. There was no mid-credit scene. There was no end-credit scene other than that little sound effect that we got towards the end in regard to referring to Iron Man. So, but there was no end-credit scene. So I'm really, because that movie itself is concluding the whole entire Infinity Saga. So Spider-Man Far From Home has nothing to do with the Infinity Saga, but yet it's still part of Phase 3 being its climactic conclusion to the whole entire Phase 3 set of films. So I feel like the movie Spider-Man Far From Home is its own end credits scene. You know, we're going to start getting some plot details, some Easter eggs regarded towards what we're going to probably be experiencing in the upcoming set of films, what the characters are going to be revealed, or anything in particular like that. So I'm really having that feeling that this is what this movie is going to have. Not only just doing that, but it's going to be its own movie itself. So I'm really excited to getting to seeing what this movie is going to be all about, and hopefully it all works out for the best, because quite normally when it comes to movies in that sort of persona, they never really work out too well. If you're planning a movie to being something as a key frame to something else huger, instead of it being a movie itself, then you have a problem. So hopefully it's just a movie being its own film and just having those little Easter eggs as a very minimal amount of time of the movie. So that's my take on what I believe what Spider-Man Far From Home is going to have in store for us this summer in July.
Yeah, but that's why with last episode, I was hoping you was just going to be like, I got a podcast to do. You take this job and shove it up your ass. Because on the prediction episode, I think you said that they was going to introduce the multiverse. And that's what the Spider-Man introduced the multiverse. So, good man, what you think about Spider-Man?
I'm excited for it. And I think this trailer, seeing it days after Endgame, it was kind of like if you had seen Endgame, you needed something. It's kind of like they put out the second Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer right after Infinity War last year. It didn't help with anything that you were dealing with, but it was I needed something and you gave it to me. So this was just kind of for anybody that had seen it, I was like, yes, what is happening next?
Here, cry some more.
My only thing, and this is nothing, but I just feel like they should have put it out in November. They did this whole campaign of just don't spoil the end game and don't ruin it for others. You're a prick if you do this, and you're the worst if you do this. And then it was a week later, they were like, okay, here's everything that happened in Endgame in 2 minutes. And even in the ads you see for Endgame now, on Instagram and Twitter, it's just Black Panther's here, and here's all the girls walking together. It was oh god. But that's my only thing. I was just obviously everyone in the world has pretty much seen Endgame in the first week or two, but it's just kind of it's you didn't have to marketing, didn't have to spoil it. That's probably why it's like declining a little faster than they thought. But other than that, I'm super excited for it. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, even with Spider-Man films, like they get kind of creative with the way they looked, like the Green Goblin and the Rhino and Electro. Like he looks awesome in the suit. Like I was like, Mysterio could have looked really ridiculous, and he looked pretty sick in the suit. And a lot of people are saying like introducing the multiverse into the MCU is a good way to introduce like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and stuff like that. Like they'd have to get a little creative with it, but they're saying like that pretty much it just simply being like the snap ripped a hole in our dimension. So here you go. Like just doing that kind of gives way for them to just like they could, like I said last time, I was like they could bullshit me. Like it wouldn't take much for them to be like, oh well, the snap made mutants, so here they are.
I'd buy it.
All right, that works for me. But no, I'm very excited, and it's kind of weird also that this ends Phase 3. It was like they didn't think about that when they were like order, but it makes sense to have a movie directly deal with the impact of Endgame, like something so big. Like we need someone, to anchor a movie to deal with that, and like Spider-Man makes the most sense. Like making the Doctor Strange sequel come after Endgame about him dealing with stuff like that, it wouldn't have been as good. So I think it's going to set Spider-Man up for a bigger role in the whole series, which I'm excited for. I think that I like that, like him like stepping into the hero role more, and kind of like throwing the role. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's like Far From Home is like the buffer between the Infinity Saga and then whatever Phase 4 is. It's not gonna like fit a saga. Like they'll force it to be in whatever this second saga is. And man, the way that you mentioned it, like that would be like the perfect, wherever the tear in the multiverse is, Reed Richards and the other three go to investigate that tear. Something happens. That's how they get their powers. That's your Fantastic Four movie.
I was thinking of that last night. They play the trailer at the end of Endgame now. I don't know if anybody's seen it since the Spider. That's actually at the credits now.
Our theater's too lazy for all that. They won't do that.
Well, I stayed through the credits anyway, and they played the Far From Home trailer. And like I was just having just watched the whole movie, and I even thought that I was like, what if like Reed Richards and everybody were in a spaceship when Thanos snapped?
Wow.
And then I was like, what? Is that a thing? I'm like, you could convince me that was a thing. Like maybe they were on a spaceship with 4 other people, and 4 other people disappeared, and they turned into weirdos. I was like, I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have to sell me too hard on that. I don't know if that fits in with actually in the comic books, this is like, I don't know, like if that really fits in, but they deviate from the comics all the time. So I'm like, that would work.
There you go. If we can get this segment of the episode to Disney, $20 million, split it 4 ways. We got your Fantastic Four movie. Let's go. We can handle casting and all of that too. Let's move on to It real quick. I think the It trailer came out, and I was like, man, it's good. It's not hitting me the same way that the first trailer for the first movie hit me. And then I saw it yesterday before John Wick, and I was like, man, that's a dope trailer. And none of you have read the book, bums. See, man, because
the 90s miniseries.
Yeah,
I can't read, so
hey, but like I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm reading it for the second time, but I'm not reading it. Like, I want to talk about the scene. I want to talk about the scene that was in the trailer, but I don't want to say anything from the book that might be in the movie, so I really can't say much. And then when McAvoy posted either that poster or he posted the trailer, and he used a hashtag that could be a spoiler. And
totally.
do y'all think that We get the spider. Do y'all think it ends with another fight against a big spider? Joe, start this time. And what'd you think about the trailer?
Okay, well, I would have to admit that I think that the studios are starting to pay attention to what the audience's opinions are related to what their concerns and complaints about recent films in the past.
What ruined the DC
I really
universe.
do think that they're going to take it into consideration and state the obvious that there could possibly be of it transforming itself into a particular spider. But if you ask me, I think that we're going to start getting the true reveal of what it really is, which is this what is it, the bright light or something like that. What is it?
The deadlights.
Yeah, it's just id light. So and I think it's going to be really fascinating getting to seeing some more of the reveal as to what this creature is all about, where it came from. And you ask me, I mean, even if we do get a reveal to what this creature truly is, I find it to being a lot more fascinating of not knowing what it is, just keeping the mystery alive. Continuing giving us these little tiny hints throughout the movies as to what we could speculate as to what it is and where it came from. But I really do think that we should just keep it as this huge mysterious secret, something in the background that we don't know about, that we'll never know what it is. It's a lot of fun. It's really entertaining not getting to know what the very mysteries lie in between what things don't come from and where they do come from. So but I think that the trailer is fascinating. I love the beginning scene. The beginning scene is just fantastic. And I think that scene in itself, it just already throws out so many things that you can't even see it. I mean, it's literally there. You got pictures, you got some certain lines that are spoken, some certain dialogue. You got a lot of creepy moments. I think they want you to believe that it could be Pennywise that is portraying Mrs. Kirsch in this when but I have a feeling that it's probably you see that picture of Pennywise and when in form and this little girl and you see the cabin in the back saying Pennywise the dancing clown. So I think that it has some connection tying to a certain part of history relating to how he started and where it built from where he was to where he is now. So I'm really, really curious in getting to seeing some more info, some more feed as to what we're going to be seeing in this movie. And I know that they say that this probably would be the end, but there could be a possibility that we could even get even more set of films. I know that you're disagreeing with me. I know you're disagreeing with me, but you never know. Because look at the Hobbit trilogy. The Hobbit is only one story that was supposed to be broken into 2 movies, but then they decided to break it into making it 3 movies. Now, was it a success? No, it wasn't.
But it was still, my bad. I don't want to cut you off. There's a Lord of the Rings book, right? And there's a Hobbit book, right?
Yeah.
There's one It book. I don't want random writers taking Stephen King's bits and pieces and creating their own story. If it needs to be like this Dr. Sleep, like Stephen King needs to do a new book and then do another It.
And I completely understand and I'm in agreement with you. Don't get me wrong. It's just that if a movie makes money, that's the problem. If a movie makes money,
especially
they intend to want to make more until they continue to keep on draining it, taking everything out of it until there's nothing left. So that's what I think that's what they're going to try and do. Because if this movie makes a lot of money, and also having to say that Stephen King himself said that he saw some good aspects of the film and was in agreement and enjoyed the movie. It really does, and we don't even know if he's lying or not. But the thing is, he also said too that when he saw The Shining with Jack Nicholson, he said he didn't like it. He said it was a terrible adaptation related to what his portrayal was in the storybook that he wrote. So, there could be a possibility that he's telling the truth, that this movie is going to be such a massive hit as much as what the first It was. So I'm really excited again to seeing what this is all about. The first It movie really got me back into the horror genre. I was really against the horror genre because I don't like demonic horror films like how they are nowadays. But, movies like this it brought me back into the theater seat and watching some more horror movies. I love to get scared out of my seat. It's just a fun, exciting time, and I'm really excited getting to seeing what this one's going to have in store for us.
Nah, man, as an author, when when a studio push your art on the screen, I think you're gonna have a genuine reaction. Like if he thought the original Shining was trash and he loved these It movies, then I think that's legit. Nick, what you think?
I kind of agree with what you said, like comparing it to the trailer for the first It. Like, I feel like the first It trailer was like an all-timer. Like when that came out, I watched it like 40 times, and like I showed it to everybody.
So did
because
I.
like the whole thing with Georgie, like coming up to the sewer, is just like, even if you don't really know it, you have seen that. Like it's iconic. You've seen the all float and all that. So like, I don't think it hit me as hard as maybe the trailer for the first movie, but I also don't think it really had to. Like they didn't have to put much out there.
It's already got my money.
Chapter 2. Because I watched it at work. Like I just stopped, and my dude's like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "Oh, it 2 trailer." And like it was just going on. He was like, "It sounds like you're just watching a movie." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's just a long scene of her and this lady," but it got me. Like I was just like, "Oh
Hello.
shit!" I'm just there, and I was like, "You were on the clock, sir." But
break's over.
Yeah, I was just like, oh,
45 minutes ago.
I love the cat. Like, that was something that as soon as credits rolled on the first one, I was like, how are we going to cast this? And I think they did a bang-up job. Like, James McAvoy is, like, one of my favorite actors working today.
I noticed something watching it before John Wick yesterday. I think McAvoy, like, he sounds natural. You know what I mean? He sounds like Professor X. He doesn't sound like a New England white dude.
He's using an accent of some kind.
Yeah.
That the kid did not use.
Exactly.
I noticed that. It almost sounds like a New York accent or something. But, yeah, like, a lot of people were like, Bill Hader, and then so they were like, all right, let's cast Bill Hader.
Perfect casting, straight up.
That's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude from Chester who plays, like, Wimpy Kid, I can't remember his name, but, like, everybody was, like, guessing all these people. They were guessing, like, Adam Scott for him and all of a sudden, like, the guy they got looks exactly like that kid.
Yeah.
Like, they did, like, an amazing job with casting. So I'm excited for that. I think, like, whether it's just one of those things, like, whether or not it's as good as the first one, it's, like, doesn't really matter. Like, I think it's going to make a ton of money. Like, it might even be bigger than part 1 if they start hyping it up a little bit more, like, closer towards its release.
Comic-Con, yeah.
Everybody likes It Part 1. Like, that was just the movie for a couple months that everybody talked about and made the memes and jokes. It was just like everybody liked it, including me. Also, like what Joe said, like, I'm a horror fan. I'm not like a horror movie head. Like, I go see a horror movie if I'm interested in it. And, like, this was, like, probably the first horror movie I can even remember that I went and saw twice. Like, I went and
saw it twice, too.
Excited to go see it again, like, show it to people. And that doesn't happen very often with horror movies. Like, even for the last Halloween, like, I feel like everyone around me was, like, clawing their eyes out. I was like, yeah, it was good. I didn't go see it twice. I was like, yeah, it was fine. But, like, I was, like, telling people about it, and I was like, oh, you got to go with me. I'm going to go. So, yeah, I'm excited for, especially once it gets closer to it, I'm going to do something to hype myself up for it, like I did with the last one. I'll probably rewatch the miniseries.
Put all the clown paint on.
Yeah. I do that every day anyway. But probably won't read the book. Because reading's for nerds. But I'm gonna rewatch the miniseries.
Left my pocket protector on the dresser.
Do what?
So I left my pocket protector on the dresser.
Yeah, that's okay. I would read books. That's the last book that I sat and read from beginning to end. Like, I feel like I've read little pieces of a million books over the last month. That's all been one week story. But I'm excited.
I think my fan casting was, like, so over budget. Like, Warner Brothers just was like, nope. Because I think some of the unanimous choices, I think, were everybody had Bill Hader. everybody had either Jessica Chastain or Amy Adams. Everybody had Chris Pratt. I had Chadwick Boseman. I think I had Christian Bale as Bill. I had Gyllenhaal as Stan. I even I was so geeked into it that I think I wanted John Hamm as the abusive husband that Beverly leaves. I think I had Amy Adams as the wife, because in the book they describe Bill's wife as looking exactly like Beverly, so I was like, yeah, just go with Amy Adams. And I got 2 right, the 2 that everybody got right, man. Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain. I'm happy with that, because Isaiah Mustafa looks identical. I think Andy Bean or Jay Ryan or whoever you were talking about looks identical, but they all look good.
The dude that plays the chubby kid looks like a skinny version of that kid. I was like, where did you find that guy? Yeah, I guess he's been in stuff. I don't know. But I'm like, did you pass that guy on the street? Holy shit, that's him.
Want to fight a clown? What you think, Eric?
Now, I think, Nick, you mentioned the casting. It's real great to see how that turned out. It's a scene in the trailer they showed where they're looking at their reflection and they see the younger version of themselves. And that's pretty cool. But there's a little differences. I don't know if you all noticed how you watched the trailer. Of course, we probably watched it first online and then theatrically with John Wick. There was one little snippet of scene cut from the theatrical trailer when she's talking to the old woman at first and she sees the scarring on her chest. That wasn't in the trailer version, the theatrical trailer version, but that's just an observation. But and you all were mentioning Stephen King and what he had to say. There's a quote he said about The Shining. He said with Stanley Kubrick's Shining, he said it's like a fancy, expensive car with no engine. Wow. And so it's really, and then he went and did The Shining, the miniseries, and he was heavily involved in that. And you think whatever you want to think about that. But now going back to the trailer, the movie, because with the first It movie, everybody knew what it was going to be about, but nobody knew how it was going to be executed. And like you said with that trailer, the trailer was excellent. The movie turned out to be decent too. So I think the hype is going to build with the more time that passes. I think they're going to ramp it up with the marketing. Like you said, the Comic-Con is coming up, and I'm definitely curious about it. I think they're on the right path with it.
Was Steven Weber in the Shining miniseries?
Yeah, that was him.
He also reads the audiobook.
Really?
Yeah. He's killing it too. He does all the voices. I'm telling you, I'm gonna sell y'all on this audiobook that you're not gonna finish by September, because I don't think I will.
How long is it, the audiobook? What's the length?
It's 47 hours.
Really?
1,100 pages. Hell yeah.
Damn.
Wow. But there's interludes, and you know how they do in between chapters, they'll veer off sometimes. I mean, I think it's all in the book.
Yeah. What book does he read? Stephen Weber? The Shining or It?
It. I'm listening to It.
Interesting.
Did everybody see the Angel Is Fallen trailer? Just real quick, I just want a thumbs up, thumbs down. What we think?
The first time I saw it was before John Wick. So.
Yeah, I saw the Angel Is Fallen trailer before John Wick, but I seen it on the internet too.
I was gonna say, it came out on the internet on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then I saw it in front of John Wick that night, but it didn't play in front of my John Wick. But Joker did. It was the first time I saw the Joker trailer.
We didn't get Joker.
No.
But I'm excited. The fact that you get a sequel to the movie is enough for me to be like, oh, cool. I can rewatch this.
Yeah.
Probably didn't cost a lot. I like Gerard Butler enough. In a movie like this, I think
he was borderline fat in Den of Thieves, and he slimmed back down to his Olympus Has Fallen build. That's crazy.
Dude, I like him in a role like that. He went on a thing where he did some rom-coms and
with his
drama,
horrible American accents.
Yeah, it's I just he's likable enough in this series. Olympus Has Fallen was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, way better.
Like you had that and White House Down within like months of each other, and like I liked Olympus Has Fallen more than White House Down.
Way more, hell yeah.
Olympus Has Fallen was fine, like to me, like as far as they moved like that you just kick back, like thought it was fine. This looks fine. I'm definitely
serviceable end of summer action.
Yeah. What's the second one? Is Olympus Has Fallen? Is London Has Fallen?
Yeah.
Have you seen? Everybody seen that one?
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous scene in that had, but that's what the movie is. This ridiculous scene that had me laughing for like 20 minutes straight when I think they're looking at him on a satellite camera. They're like, wait a minute, look, like his gun hand is pointed 45 degrees to the north, so he must be trying to tell us something. That he's headed this way. We know where he's gonna be. I'm like, okay, I know what kind of movie I'm watching.
Tactical logistics.
It was entertaining.
All right. What do we think about Chris Rock being involved in the Saw spinoff, reboot, remake, whatever it might be? And Joe has not heard this news.
Well, somebody mentioned Halloween. Look who was involved in Halloween.
Yeah.
And that kind of worked out, you know.
That's too. Like you don't just hire somebody to write a movie, like a franchise. They aren't interested in. Like they aren't. He must be a massive Saw fan.
Yeah.
Like, because why they, Did he write Pootie Tang? Like, I'm like, you don't just go to Chris Rock and be like, I love your work. Please write Saw. Like, he probably loves Saw and probably thinks, he had a good idea for it.
The original director is still involved in it, so that's curious.
Do we think Chris Rock is going to be in it? And if so, will he be the new Jigsaw? Because I don't know if it's like an ignorant assumption, but that's what I thought. Like, Chris Rock's going to be the new Jigsaw. He's involved in the writing.
Everybody's age, but he could bring back the little penny doll.
Yeah.
From the doll from the commercial. I don't know if y'all remember that.
I'd be down.
Chris Rock did the voice to Penny Hardaway. It was a little puppet doll, but that's a sports thing. But anyway.
I'll bet he's not in it in any capacity. Kind of like Danny McBride wrote Halloween.
Yeah, that's the one thing this involvement is going to be.
It was like goofy enough that he probably could have put himself in that movie as like a cop or something. He just didn't. So I feel like that, like, you can't really have a goofy. Well, I guess you could have like a ridiculous, just bizarre Saw movie.
But he's also going to be in the next season of Fargo, and that's why I'm sold on this, because he's in Fargo, and like Fargo doesn't have a weak season. So I think this might be the best Saw movie since the first one. Of course, a year and a half, jury's still out and all that. Got a cast, and it'll be Chris Rock writing, a bunch of up-and-coming actors, just like the Jigsaw movie. And I didn't think the Jigsaw movie was horrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It was kind of frustrating, like a little twist. I wasn't actually a secret, but I liked it. I liked it enough that I liked that they kept making the series.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, I don't even know if I put it as a guilty pleasure. It was just like when it was around, I was first in line. Like everyone, even like high school, like I was in theater because I was really cool. Like, we would do these plays like 2 or 3 nights, and like one of the last nights, my girlfriend came, and like we were supposed to have like a big party or whatever, and we left like right after the show. Everybody's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Saw 3." And like I showed up to Saw 3 wearing makeup and like some weird ass suit. Like 1 please or 2 please or whatever, and that's when we went and saw Saw 3 at like 10 o'clock on a school night. Yeah. So I was cool, but
very cool.
But even like when Saw 1 like scared me, like the thing that scared me about Saw 1 were like things that scared me in real life, like the dude being in the little girl's closet, like killed me. Like I don't like, for some reason that was like the scariest thing of all time, like scarier than any of the traps. So just like from there I was like hooked. So I'm on board with whatever they want to do with the Saw series, and also having that director return is
that's cool,
really cool, because he was like, he didn't always direct his weren't always the best of the best, but they were like real stylish. Like he understood the appeal of that series more than I think anybody else that did.
Joseph, penny for your thoughts.
To be honest with you, I've never seen any Saw movies. I've tried to see the first. I know I've tried to see the first Saw movie, and to be honest with you, I was bored, so it never really caught my interest. So everything that you guys are talking about is all news to me. So so I apologize if I have no acknowledgement to whatever it is you guys are talking about. So. But like I said, I'm still new going back into the horror genre based off of, having to being very much of a big fan towards the It franchise. Then the newly released Halloween this past October. So, and getting Chucky coming out this June. So, horror has started to becoming a lot more interesting to me. But when it came to the Saw movies, it never really gained any of my interest, nor was I ever excited about what the franchise had in store. So I apologize if I don't really have my own personal opinion related towards that news. So
I think the first Saw is like a real dope character study with one of my all-time favorite plot twists. Yeah. But let's move on to the undercard. They said something about Batman. Like, I don't even know how to play this off, man. Like, a new Batman was cast, Robert Pattinson, and I've checked eBay for Good Time on Blu-ray like 3 times, and I can't find one that I want to buy. I want to go back and I want to look at this dude because the general consensus out there. I don't even want to echo this, man. Oh, Twilight.
Yeah.
Like, the last Twilight was 7 years ago, man. Like, he's been in other stuff. Like I saw Nick's post. Like, he championed like 3 or 4 other movies that Robert Pattinson murdered, and like people need to look into that. Like all I know is Harry Potter. He was in Harry Potter. R.I.P. to Cedric Diggory, whatever his name is. And like, I trust Matt Reeves more than I care about the casting. So it's like Matt Reeves made like 2 epic Planet of the Apes movies, and like I put on Facebook, like I put on Twitter, he could have got Carrot Top, and I'm gonna see this movie. Who started last time? Nick, you start this time. Robert Pattinson, go ahead.
So who's starting? Me?
Nick.
No, Nick.
Is this third? Fuck it, I said Nick. Go ahead.
Like, that was like my first reaction was like, he's an interesting, like, he makes interesting movie choices now. And it's so, to an extent, does Kristen Stewart. Like, I think after Twilight, they both, worked their way through the movie circuit and really did some like crazy good stuff that I feel like a lot of people haven't really seen. But I was like, one of my things was like, crucify me or whatever. He's not bad in Twilight. I mean, like, for what Twilight is and what they were trying to sell to who they were selling it to, he's perfect in that movie. Like, they're like, just sit at that lunch table, look broody as fuck, and like, that's exactly what he did. Like, he sat there just like, did his eyes. It works. Like, it's fine. Like, I was called, he did a movie called Remember Me. I want to say in like 2009 or 10, like, it's the height of Twilight madness. He did like this small little drama, and it's not like an amazing movie, but he's good in it. And like, I want him back.
Hey Nick, I'm sorry to cut you off. Is that the movie with the twist at the end?
Yeah.
Did y'all see Randy Joe? Did y'all see Remember Me?
I've seen it, but I don't remember it. Like, I've seen 2 Twilight movies that I don't remember. Yeah. Like, I need to run through his movies so I can be educated on what he's gonna bring to Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Well, I'm sorry, Nick, but I remember seeing that movie just randomly. I'm like, okay, they went there with the ending. I don't know if y'all.
The ending is it's almost like silly because it's like there's got to be this profound twist, and it's just kind of like,
yeah,
okay.
Was the twist when it took place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember the twist. I don't remember the movie.
Yeah, but he is good in that movie. Like that, like whatever the movie you say about whatever you want. He, like, I back then was, he's a pretty good actor. Like, and then after post Twilight, he did, I think, Good Time kind of become the prime example. But Good Time, really good movie. I was lucky enough to have that come to one of my theaters, and I saw it. It was like 2 summers ago, and he's great. The story is wild, and they probably could have gone a more obvious way with casting. They absolutely could have done worse with the casting. Like, I'm like, they got him, and I think they said Nicholas Hoult is still in contention. I picture Robert Pattinson as a more interesting choice than him between those two. And, like, he would probably do fine, too. But, yeah, it's more... My only, and I said on Twitter, my only gripe is that if he's supposed to be Ben Affleck younger, he could not look less like Ben Affleck. Like, I look more like Ben Affleck than Robert.
Yo, I actually saw a picture of like 90s Affleck next to present day Affleck. I thought it was Robert Pattinson, just maybe the angle of his head. But then like I read the caption, I was like, oh shit, that's young Affleck.
Mm.
Well, not me. I see that stuff.
Yeah.
And also, like, he's not a real big guy, but like that can be fixed. Like,
I mean, Zachary Levi.
let's say, give me one picture of Robert Pattinson just jacked, and I'll just be like, okay,
So
that's my. So and it's like you said, like, it's not like I'm not gonna see the movie. It's not like I'm one of those that's gonna be like, you know what? No, not. Like, I'm gonna be there day one. I trust the director. I trust that they like want to do something cool with that character. I wish, just for continuity's sake, that Ben Affleck would have just kept doing it.
yeah,
But,
I wish he would do like a Wonder Woman bookend flashback, and Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson just portrays him younger.
because like, what are you gonna do? Like, okay, we're making a movie with young Ben Affleck. It's like, okay, that's fine. You cast someone else, but you know, going forward, it's like you want to put Aquaman and Shazam and more stuff.
Yeah.
Are they just never gonna meet Batman? Like, or is Batman just gonna be 30-year-old Robert Pattinson forever? That's my only thing. It's just like, it'll probably be good. Aquaman was good. Shazam was really good. Like, it'll probably be at least fine. It's just like DC are just, it's such a mess over there that I don't know what. You never know what their plan is for the future. It's always just like, right now we got Robert Pattinson as Batman, and right now that works. So let me just do another line real quick, and then we're moving on to Suicide Squad 2. And it's like, okay, man. But that's my take. I'm excited.
Eric, what you think? Robert Pattinson, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, you know the thing that really pisses me off? You want to know? No, I'm just getting all intense. All right, so the people going back to the Twilight crap. I'm going to read this real quick, something to y'all. People who Twilight, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you, 80% of those people that are using that reason haven't even seen damn Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Every single Twilight in the theater. Like, I was there for not necessarily by choice, but like, yeah.
No, same here. And it's another thing is, prime example of this is everybody, friend of mine. Here you go. In what universe is Pattinson considered a good actor? And I said, being in a bad franchise does not make one a bad actor. And he says, good actors excel even in the crappiest movies. So I said, so you've seen every Twilight movie? No. I said, so what is your opinion based on? I've seen clips. Okay, so I said, go see, exactly. I said, go see Good Time, go watch The Rover, and come back and talk to me. And this is what, what most people are talking about. I'm like, man, don't like the choice, fine. But in no way is this dude a bad actor.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get out of here with that. And that Twilight is just the weakest of the weakest argument, and it's hollow. And you try to argue with, the sparkly vampires, whatever, man. Did you actually watch the movie? Because I think it was Randy or Nick, one of you said, even within the movie for what it is, he's not bad in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he's what's bad about the
Right.
Twilight. And also, to me, the idea of a vampire Batman sounds fucking awesome to me. Like, that sounds great. So,
I would watch that.
And you see all of these this artwork coming out on social media with him superimposed and the reflection of Batman looking back. I mean, it could pretty work, man. You get him into the gym, he'll be fine.
You find a dude with a big ass chin,
Yeah, and the chin
Photoshop the
is
cow.
good.
jawline for days.
Yeah.
Right.
I want like the three people that watch or listen to this show, dig deep down in your soul real quick and tell me 10 years ago you didn't watch or read some Twilight so you could try to holler at a girl. If you say no, then you're lying.
Prime reason why I watched it. I watched it on like a website. They used to have free movie websites, and like I watched it so I could talk to this girl who was like freaking out about it, and I was like, it wasn't that bad. Like it entertained me, and then like I remember the trailer for the second Twilight like getting me more excited than I thought. Like when the dude turned into a werewolf, I was like, oh my god, because I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, there's werewolves. So like it's trash, but it's like junk food. It's like you know, who cares? Like that franchise made like so much money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only little girls were not going to see those movies. Like those movies were massive hits, every single one of them.
Yeah. And of course, I'm sure we go back to casting choices. Like back in the day, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
People wrote letters.
Mr. Mom.
30,000 handwritten letters went to Warner Brothers.
Well, today that's called a Twitter petition.
What's that?
So today, those handwritten letters is called a Twitter petition.
Exactly. And, back then, it's not that Keaton was a bad actor. It's that before that, Keaton was Mr. Mom. Keaton was Beetlejuice. And, it's not it's just people need to, and of course, Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yep.
But yeah, people, social media, it gives an instant reaction and everybody has to get their opinion out. Like, and 96.6% of this criticism is because of Twilight, which 80% of people haven't seen that are criticizing about it. And it's ridiculous. I think, but like Randy says, I trust in Matt Reeves as a filmmaker.
All right, Joe, I'm going to pretend that you fan cast Taylor Lautner as Red Hood. So what you think?
You know what? I'm going to admit, I didn't believe it at first. I heard rumors about the casting choice of getting Rob Pat as our new Batman. I heard him. I didn't believe him. And then one day, my friend, he messages me and he tells me this news. I thought he was joking. But then I started going on YouTube, social media, everything. It's all over the place. And I'm like, oh my God, this is real. So I'll admit, at first, I'll admit I was one of those reactions stating the obvious that I didn't like it because of Twilight. I'll admit it. But then I sat back, I took a breather, and I went ahead and admitted the fact that, you know what? This probably isn't a bad idea. Why? Because, like how you guys were mentioning earlier, is that, yes, Warner Brothers has made so many different casting choices that made the audiences really very much doubt the fact that this was not a good idea, that this movie was to be terrible. Like how you were mentioning earlier, Michael Keaton, because he's a comedic actor. Okay, you got Jack Nicholson, who's a serious actor. You switch them both, making a serious actor playing a comedic villain, and you got the actor playing the serious role, and it was beautiful. One of the best casting choices ever. You have one of the best Batmans and one of the best Jokers.
And
then
soundtrack.
Fast forwarding it over more to the future, with of course, like what you mentioned earlier, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger got a lot of heat because people didn't see it. They were expecting, the next Jack Nicholson's Joker, but instead now Heath Ledger is the most favored casting choice, the most beloved portrayal of the Joker character ever. I don't think that there can ever be another Joker that can reach up to a higher level than what Heath Ledger did in the Dark Knight movie. And then you got Ben Affleck. People were complaining about Ben Affleck being our next Batman. Even I complained about Ben Affleck being the next Batman. But then, we got him in the movie Batman vs Superman. One of the best performances in that movie. One of the best pluses. And then we got him in Justice League and then in Suicide Squad. It was phenomenal. And then you get Gal Gadot. People were complaining about Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman because why? She wasn't muscular enough. Just because she was a model, people for her sensuality to gain the audiences to go and watch the movie. But She is I mean, come on, Wonder Woman made so much money. It's one of the best DCEU films out there. So you guys, you guys all in general can, and including myself, cannot complain about this casting choice about Rob Pat being our new Batman. That's why I went ahead and took a breather and said, you know what, this could actually work. And of course, Matt Reeves being the director off of doing the last two Planet of the Apes movies. Loved them. Those two last movies were phenomenal. I love them so much. They were so great, fantastic, and I'm really looking forward and excited again to seeing what his envisionary is about with his Batman story, including having our newly awesome casting of Robert Pattinson. So they've won me. I'm gonna go watch the movie regardless who's gonna be casted. I heard about it's going to take place in the 90s, probably going versus against the Penguin. That's just a theory. Going against the Penguin, probably casting Josh Gad to play that character. That's just what I heard. So, but it would be very interesting because, to be honest with you, I would love to see the Penguin. We haven't seen a live adaptation of the Penguin ever since Danny DeVito back in '92. So it'll be very awesome to see Batman versus Penguin once more again on the big screen. So, like I said before, really excited. Can't wait for it. And hopefully, this casting choice is going to be such an awesome one. I'm going to believe it 100%. And I'm looking forward to the first trailer and its theatrical release on June 2021.
Yeah, man. Like, to announce Batman in the middle of May, it makes me real curious what they got up their sleeve for Comic-Con. With the Phase 4 news coming, man, DC has to have some kind of news, but I'm about to cap this off, and then we can get into what we actually all gathered to discuss. All right. Now the main event. We've covered all the news topics. And like I said, like, this is really where y'all take control, man, because bad theater experiences, bad movie-going experiences, man. Like, aside from, like, rude people, like phones, crying-ass babies, people coughing, sneezing, not covering their mouths, I don't have that many. Like, I'm around a lot of rude people in this town. Joe can co-sign that. But Mr. Goodman, you put something on Twitter over the past couple weeks. I'm gonna let you start because this entertained me for hours on hours.
All right.
Maybe not that long.
So, my whole thing in life is like, I love going to the theater. That's my thing. So many, people I know, friends of mine, just don't get it. Like, they think I'm a nice guy. They don't get why I'm so into movies. Like, I'll be like, have you seen this movie? And they'll be like, no, I don't even know what that is. Like, they just can't get them out. But it's my favorite thing. A few years ago, I started seeing them by myself, which I used to not do. But I realized, getting people to get, their schedules together and get everything together and seeing a movie in a timely fashion just was not happening as often as I wanted to see movies. So I started seeing movies by myself, realized it wasn't really weird. Started doing, now I do that more often than not, I would say. Like, unless it's like a big event movie, like, I typically will just go catch a movie by myself. So, and I have found recently, like, in the last year, it happened to me with Deadpool 2 also, but to a lesser extent than this. When I invite people to the movie and it becomes a stressful thing, like, it makes me really mad. It's like, you took my thing and made it stressful for me. And, like, I'm probably being selfish, like, as if I'm the only person that sees movies. But that's how I look at it. It's like, I invited you to my trip. Like, I'm the movie guy. I invited you, the normie, to my trip.
The civilian.
And you are making it stressful for me when you are lucky to have even been in my presence while watching a movie. That's in the back of my head how I'm doing it. Not seriously, but also, yeah, seriously. So, last week, I'm going to go see Detective Pikachu. Definitely the biggest movie of that week. There was that, and I was going to go see The Hustle. In my head, I'm like, I want to see the biggest movie first. If I can, life happens, but I typically will go see the biggest movie on Friday. Thursday, if it's like massive event, like, So my plan was to see Pikachu on Friday, the Hustle on Saturday, or whenever I got to it. My best friend, who I will not name, I know his wife and daughter are massive Pokemon fans. Like his wife, we're all about the same age. His wife grew up with Pokemon, just loved it, passed that on to their child. He not so much, but he is somebody who I just classify as like a normie. Like he didn't see Harry Potter until like 2 years ago because he wasn't allowed to watch it when he was a kid, and like he had never seen Star Wars. I still don't think he's seen many of the Star Wars. Like he's just somebody who just kind of lets things pass him by. Like I swear to God, I don't think he's seen Endgame yet. He was supposed to go with me, and then he had to cancel, which again, I'm like, thank you for making it stressful. And I had to but I found someone else who wanted to go see it because it's Endgame and everybody wants to see Endgame. So anyway, I text him, I invite him. I'm like, look, next weekend I'm going to go see Detective Pikachu. What are y'all doing on Friday? He doesn't give me a straight answer. So I'm like, this is okay. So I text him, like, Brittany, what are y'all doing? I'm like, what are y'all doing on Friday? I'm trying to go see Pikachu. And she's like, ooh, okay, that sounds fun. He immediately texts me, like, let's do Saturday so we can get that matinee play. He's still laughing at this. All right. He's like, let's do Saturday. So I'm immediately, like, already unnecessarily mad. I'm like, I was going to do Friday, but why not? I'm like, you know the matinee difference is like $2. And he's all, well, if we save the money, we can buy candy. I'm like, all right, man, that's fine. I was like, all right, Saturday. I was like, if you cancel on Saturday, then I'm just going to go without you. And he's like, all right, cool. So I go see The Hustle on Friday. It was fine. Plan is to see Pikachu on Saturday. So I think it's Friday, that Friday night. He starts texting me. He's like, all right, so the wife invited her friend and her friend's kids. Can we do the 2:30 instead of the 1:40 or whenever we were going to get? I'm like, I guess that's fine. Just don't cancel. I'm like, Saturday, just keep it Saturday. Because if y'all are like, well, we can't do it, let's do Sunday, I'm just going to go see it on Saturday. Then later on, he's like, all right, so her friend already bought her tickets. And Regal, pretty much it's all Regal cinemas around me now. And you have to choose your seats. It's like something that they act like they're trying to like see if it works better. I don't know. But at like the good Regal theater, you have to choose your seats. And he's like, so she already bought her tickets and bought 3 seats that didn't have 4 seats beside it. And he's like, I'm buying our tickets now so we can pick our seats. And I was like, well, if you buy them online, there's a convenience fee. So that just completely negates your going early because you're paying more money. But whatever. And he's like, all right, so I'm buying them now, and the seating's kind of dumb. So you're going to be sitting right behind me. I was like, the fuck? So I was like, okay, so you're telling me I now am going to see this alone like I would normally, although now I'm seeing it a day later and with a worse seat than I would have picked for myself, because it was like at the end of a row, like that way, and then I was right behind him in like the last seat. And again, I'm going to say, to a normal person, this is a non-issue. But like in my mind, I'm like, you're paying the same amount of money for every seat in the house. Why would you go over by the bathroom when you could be in the middle or like closer to the front or closer to the back, whatever it is you're paying? So he's like, well, can I exchange these seats? And I was like, yeah, it's 2019. Like, just I was like, if you're on the app, you can just exchange it. Like, you can just return everything and just get a different seat. He's like, all right, I'll tell her friend to return her seats. Then I'll just buy all of them right now, and everybody can pay me back whenever. Like, that sounds great. I was like, get good seats. I was like, like a normal human. Like, I pick seats that make sense to watch the movie. So he buys them. He's like, all right, done. And he tells me like where the seats are. So I look on the Fandango app, and it shows you the map of the theater. And I was like, nothing changed. I was like, there's 4 seats here. And he was like, we're in row I. And I look, and the map shows it's like the front row before you're at the rail. There's some stairs, and then there's the little side row that has like 4 seats in a row that go up. There's like 4 seats. There's like 3 seats from one of those rows filled, and like 4 seats on the other side of the ship. I was like, what seats did you get? He tells me like, I was like, all right, you pick seat. We're going to be separated by a whole thing of stairs. And he's like, sends me the picture, and he's like, well, the Regal map doesn't show that at all. And to be fair, the map he was looking at didn't show stairs. But I was like, all right, I see movies every week. This app, every week, I'm telling you, there's stairs in between the row. Like, it's stupid, but they consider that one row. And he's like, all right, let me try it again. So he returns the tickets again. We're talking like $60+ a pop because he's ordered like 7 or 8 tickets. He's like, all right, see if I fixed it. Did it again, he made it worse. He bought one more seat over on the other side. I was like, dude, go. I was like, start at I-11. Or no, I said start at I-15. No, sorry. I said start at I-5 and go left. However many people are going. I think it was 7 total. It was like her and her 2 kids, us, and the one child. I was like, start at I-5, go left. And he didn't do it again. Like, I came back, and he just kept it. He was like, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to the theater and do it there. And then I'll save the money on, like, the convenience fees and everything. I was like, all right, so you're going to drive all the way to the theater and do that. Great. I was like, start at I-5 and go left. I was like I-5 through like I-11 or 12. He drives all the way to the theater. I was like, did you fix it? Or no, I'm sorry. I'm getting my mixed up. So I was already going over there that night. And I was like, all right, we'll talk about it when I get there. He went over there, did it, and he said, okay, I fixed it. And I was like, what seats did you get? And he was like, it was not I-5 through I-12. It was like the same seats that he kept picking for the last like 2 hours. I was like, why? Why wouldn't you have just done what I told you to do? There's going to be, he was like, because their map didn't show stairs. I was like, we've already established that the Regal map doesn't show the stairs in the theater. I'm like, I've told you this. And he's just like, it's not that big a deal, dude. I was like, but it is, because if I'm by myself over in this stupid, like, corner seat, I'm going to have like a breakdown in front of all the kids there going to see pictures. I was like, it sounds stupid, but it's like, if I was going to do that, I would have just gone over to the middle. Like, it's just like, you can't explain this to people that don't go see movies or whatever. So I come over and he's like, well, this just got worse. I was like, how? I get there, his wife is walking around huffing and puffing. She's super mad. He's like, so her stupid fucking friend won't return her seats.
Wow.
And I was like, why not? She was like, I don't know. Her husband's going now. So they just are going to stay in those seats. So she is going to go back to the theater and just return all of them and just buy our 4 seats. If we're sitting behind her friend, so be it. I was like, okay, that sounds like as much of a plan as we've had all day. So she leaves. We're sitting there at his place. Maybe 20 minutes later, she calls him on the phone. He's like, and he's just like on the phone. He's like, yeah? Well, yeah, I figured. Okay. hangs up and he's like, well, she couldn't return them. They need my credit card. I was like, yeah, that's how the world works. Like, what the hell? Like, you sent her there without your card. You went and bought the tickets 50 times. Wells Fargo is going to call you and be like, are you okay? Like, what are you doing? Like, so she came all the way back. We still have the same busted ass seat. He was like, all right, I'm just going to go there in the morning and fix it. I got to go there in the morning anyway to get a haircut or something. And he was like, I'll just fix it on my way. And I was like, I-5 through I-12 or I-11, like whatever it is, go to the left. That's where the aisle ends. So he goes. The next morning, I text him as soon as I woke up. I was like, did you fix it? He was like, we are no longer split by stairs, if that's what you mean. I was like, I don't like how you worded that. It's a problem. He was like, yeah. He was like, I got us all seats together. The row you wanted didn't have all the seats together. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, start at I-5 and go left. He goes, oh, I thought you said start at 15.
What? Yeah.
I was like, why in the fuck would I have told you to start all the way over there when there weren't seats? I was like, there's only like 12 seats in a row or something like that. I was like, why would I have told you to start at 15? And he was like, don't yell at me. Like, he was like, I'm sorry that I fixed the problem and all this stuff. So we get there, and yeah, like there's stairs on both sides. An old lady fell up the stairs. Like, I was like, you see what would have happened to us if you'd have gotten our stupid, like, stair seat. Like, because somebody fell, and like in the corner of my eye, I thought it was a child. I'm not gonna lie, so I like didn't even react. I kind of laughed, like I was like, and I looked at it, it was like an old lady, and I felt bad. But I was like, dude, that would have been us. Like, we would have had to have been separated by stairs, and there'd been all these people, and we would have fallen up the stairs. And it was just like, it should have just not been stressful at all. Like, just something like catching, people just say, like, let's go catch a movie, and it's like, yeah. And I was like, it took us 24 hours to get our shit together, to like get 4 seats. And then we get there, and like her dumbass friend is up front, and like we sat behind them the whole time. And then just like the cherry on top was the lights didn't go down for the first half hour of the movie.
Wow.
Like, so, but what was great is that when the lights don't go down, children just keep talking. Like, they just keep making noise because the lights aren't down. That's like the cue to like be quiet. Nope. Like, first half hour of the movie was just like, you may as well have been, you know, in a daycare center. Like, they were just making noise and laughing and rolling around. And then they finally went down, and I was like, okay, this madness is at an end now. And I enjoyed the movie for the most part after that. But, yeah, that's my most recent thing. But I was just like, leave it to someone else to make my thing so unnecessarily stressful. But, like, it just, oh shit, it got me that he thought I was talking about seat 15. Because I wrote it like 85 times. I just kept saying I-5. And I said it, I know I said it to him when I was there. But maybe we had been drinking. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't pay attention. And he's all like, well, sorry that I have a child that I'm trying to raise and all that. And I was like, no.
That's not
your choice. This is more important than your dumbass child. I didn't say it. But yeah, that's my most recent thing. Aside from like the countless, you know, annoying children that I encounter when I go to theaters. But I was probably a little more fired up about it on Twitter because it had just happened. And I was like, let me tell you this.
It was a great read on Twitter.
Man.
He said, I'm not going to name names.
I named a name right off the bat. Because I was like... We can edit that out.
Oh no. Rec League
like,
Podcast, uncensored, unfiltered. Let's go.
We're live streaming right now. So
yes.
And that's the question I ask myself. I'm going to ask all three of you. Does anybody still walk up to the box office to buy tickets anymore between y'all?
I do.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I just with the convenience of these apps, I just don't do it if I don't have to, because it's people still out there. It's still the quote unquote, what's that movie about people out there?
Yeah.
And you get caught behind them in line. And trust me, it's not a pleasant experience.
Man, like the town, my bad, but the town where me and Joe are, like I show up an hour early regardless. If I'm watching The Hustle, if I'm watching Endgame, I show up an hour ahead of time, and there's usually not that much of a line, so I usually get the seat I want. But yeah, like occasionally, I think when I went to see The Hustle, there was a stupid long line, and the artist formerly known as Joe has disappeared. And it was either, I don't know if it was Pikachu, I don't know if it was Avengers, but like I pulled a hard switch because I noticed there was a time for Pikachu that they added that I didn't see on the app. So I watched The Hustle first, avoided all of that. There was an annoying ass kid right behind me, and then I got to end up seeing them both. But yeah, I'll still do the box office.
I'll do it if it's a smaller movie. It's like I saw The Hustle and like Long Shot. I'll just, depending on what time I get to, like I'll just walk up and get it. But it's like Godzilla, I already have my tickets. Like X-Men, I already have my tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Like choosing seats too, it's like kind of a different thing. It's like you kind of want to charge or choose your own. But if it's like a smaller movie, or if it's like a certain time of day, I'll just go up to the box office because you save money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it depends, because on the apps they waive the convenience fees. So that's why another reason I use if you're a member. Because Cinemark has pound for pound one of the best rewards programs. It pays for itself. You get they waive the convenience fee. You get a free ticket that rolls over every month. And it's just, and you don't have to deal with silly friends who don't order book seats.
But Mr. Sigmund, can you top that story?
No, I can't top it. All my stories are, but I've got a few of them. I could probably tell 3 stories in existence, not as long as that one, but that was a great story. It's just, but I know what you mean. As far as star managers, some people you call them normies. Some people just don't know. I don't know the process. Yeah, you know what I mean.
The decorum.
The movie going.
Yeah, it's just not a important thing, which is fine. But it's like you're weird and I hate you.
Yeah.
All right, so I just throw a couple of short ones in there. So it was a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
In 2017. So my friend and I, we were in Tacoma, Washington, and we go see opening night of Logan. And this is a short story. Regal's premium theaters, RDX, if I'm not mistaken. And, you have to choose your seats beforehand. And we had seats. We got there, like Randy said, we always get there early. And half an hour early, people start coming in, and we start noticing something weird happening. And, you see people come in, talking to other people sitting down and looking at the tickets, like, okay, that happens. And we look to the left, and some people coming in and like, no, this is, and I'm looking to my boy, I'm like, it's just happening, like, more people coming in, talking to other people sitting down already, more people coming in, and then more and more people coming in. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then two people came in over. I'm like, oh, excuse me, I think you're in our seats. I'm like, the fuck I hate. But anyway, I'm like, oh, here we go. We showed them my phone, and they showed us their phone. I'm like, these fools done double book the entire theater. And it was just swarms of people coming in, talking to other people already sitting down. And this was happening for half an hour. You see the managers coming in and assistant managers. I'm like, how do you do that? The technology, even 2 years ago.
That's the menace of society. You done fucked up, right?
Yeah, but no, that's just one small one. But another one is way back in 1996. Movie called Independence Day.
I'm familiar with it.
So you remember the scene toward the end? I mean, this is a good, exciting movie. I'm sure all you probably liked it, right?
Yeah.
And
Are we talking about the first one or the second one?
Resurgence,
no,
right?
The hell with that second movie. I went to go see 2 damn weeks in a row, 2 horrible movies. That one and that damn. Never mind. But
I want to know now.
1996, the first one, the good one, the only one that exists in my book. So toward the end, when the big ship is coming over, the jets, the big fight is going on at the end, and they're trying to destroy it, and Randy Quaid is trying to shoot his missile, and it wouldn't fire, and he makes his decision what he has to do.
Yeah.
So you're like, I got it, I got tone. Like F3, Fox 50, movie cuts off. Scream, the red curtain closes, light comes on right at that part. And
so did Will Smith save the world?
What happened with that? Well, we didn't know for the next 20 minutes.
Damn.
And they actually, they had the timers set up, and then the movie actually came back on. All the excitement that was going on, the suspense, and yeah, that kind of jacked it up. It was July 3rd, 1996. And
it was like almost independent. Like you were like, for a reason.
We can't show you guys until the 4th.
Yeah, and but another little one I'll give you, it's not so, well, it is a bad theater experience. It's the first time, and we're all, I guess we can consider ourselves like movie lovers, cinephiles, if you will. Only once in my 18 years of living have I ever walked out of a movie theater because the movie was bad. And it was just, I don't know if y'all ever sat I could be having a horrible day and still see a bad movie, and it could be someone entertaining, but this movie was just painful. And halfway through it, I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And a movie called The Spirit.
The
Spirit. I don't know if you saw this. Exactly. And the thing is, it was, that lets you know how much Robert Rodriguez really did and how much Frank Miller really did in the Sin City movie. Because Frank Miller directed The Spirit.
Yeah.
And he co-directed Sin City with Robert Rodriguez. So Robert Rodriguez directed Sin City. And I don't know if you all seen The Spirit or if you saw it in theaters. It was just, look at all these people. We got Samuel Jackson and Scarlett Johansson, and it was just painful. I had to leave.
I haven't seen it since the theater, and I was 22. I remember not hating it though, but I need to revisit it.
Yeah.
I own it, but I also haven't watched it since it came. That's been like years ago.
And
probably, but I remember not loving it. Like I remember not thinking like, "Wow, this is not as good as Sin City."
Nah, it was just terrible to me. But it was just horrible, and I was like mad driving on the way home. But last little short story, and this one it was during the time in my life when I was going through some stuff. Probably had a little anger issues, but Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and I went to go see this movie because I was not having a good time in general in life, and I was a fan of these movies, read the books, and I'm like, let me go chill. And I went with my boy. So we sitting there watching the movie, and it's a family behind us, and it's a kid. Guess she's not too interested in the movie. Start kicking my seat, and I turn around, and you turn around and get somebody that look. It is, and she's like, little, probably 4 or 5-year-old little girl, and the family is there. And I look over the family, and we're like, okay, I get it. So it happens again, and turns around again. That has left the little girl. And like, you stop? And with everything, I'm a strike three guy. 3 strikes and he out, no matter what it is. Bad restaurant, bad if you mess up. So, like in half an hour, it's the battle of Helm's Deep, the one that happened in Two Towers. So man, that's some exciting stuff going on, and I'm into it. And she's not just tapping and kicking it; she Luke Kane in the damn chair. Like I turned around, not to the parents. Like I said, I was going through some shit back then. Not to the parents, to the little girl. You kick the seat again, I'm gonna whoop you like I'm your fucking daddy, and then I'm gonna beat your ass like I was your dad. Stop kicking the seat. And
yeah. Was you still like practicing and doing your thing back then too?
Oh yeah, I was always. This is 2002. How was I? I was early 20, probably 20.
Oh, so they would have got fucked up.
He's been preparing for that moment his whole life up to that point.
Even I feel bad. I think back on it, but how many, the parents are there. You see what your child is doing, and this is probably. It wasn't even 3 strikes. It was probably 4 or 5 times. Kicking the chair. You know what? Move your damn child. If you see she's doing it. I turned around. I was just like, and I wasn't really gonna do it. You know what I mean? But still, you were like stomping, and I'm like, come on. But. Yeah, just she didn't kick the chair anymore, and it was just, it's really hard to, I've talked to Randy for a while, and even with y'all too, I'm a pretty chipper guy. It's really hard to get me to a place like that, but, bad times in life and just bad parents, and you're in a movie theater, and you kicking, have you ever had, this is 2002, so it's not the reclining leather seats, it's the kind of thin chairs.
Yeah.
And you ever had those seats kicked? Like, the person that's passing behind you, that's not the most fun thing. And this little girl was kicking it like Van Damme in Bloodsport.
Making the face and everything.
Yeah, but no, most of my bad theaters experiences because of just ignorant and inconsiderate people act like they've never been anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Den of Thieves, the more fairly recent movie. Me and my now wife went to go see it, and this killed me. With the damn, you can't disconnect for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not a young couple. Not teenagers, but a married couple in their mid to late 60s, right next to Facebook. It's just. Why are you here? You came here to see a movie. I'm just looking over there. You're paying, how much? $25 to go see a movie just to come and be on Facebook?
Old people do not know how to turn the brightness down on the Everybody kind of whip your phone out. Like, you get, like, it's one thing. But yeah, like, you can tell who's old in a theater.
Exactly.
Like, a hole has been shot through the and it's like, whoa, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
But
no, just other than the Independence Day thing and walking out, I'm sorry, one steady going. One more. Incredibles 2. This is in Chicago. I guess I travel a lot.
Yeah.
So a young woman and her child, they right during the trailers, I was noticing they kept ducking over to the exit, which would be the emergency exit. And they would go on like the corridor and come back, and they would go there and come back. I guess she had phone calls. I give her credit for trying to be considerate, but ultimately she effed up. So I guess the movie comes on during the opening action sequence, The Incredibles 2. I guess she goes to the corridor and her child or she opens the emergency door. So during the movie, it's dark. The emergency lights come on during the movie. And the big bright ones, the emergency lights.
Damn.
And they're flashing. You can't even see the movie. They're so bright. And this was disturbing because, with my martial arts and I was former law enforcement observation, the bystander effect. When that happens, do you think anybody moved to get up to see what was happening? You know what I mean? To see management, hey, the lights are on. It's a full house. It's an opening weekend Incredibles 2. Me and one other guy got up to tell them what the problem was, and just it's just people, and children are gonna be children, but man, just
fuck those kids, man.
Here.
But no, those are my just little micro stories. But yeah, and
I got
when
a
I snapped
couple-
on the 5-year-old and her dad, that's
I guess I got a couple malfunctions. I think it was here. It was here in Del Rio where I'm at now. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. When Jessica Biel is doing her thing, that scene when she's starting to show the goods, the screen froze. It was like perfect timing. And then in San Antonio, Tropic Thunder 2008, I remember there was like a fire alarm went off or something. And then, what was it? Only the Brave, the Miles Teller firefighter movie.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of us in the theater like smelled smoke. Like it was ironic just because it was a firefighter movie, but like it ended up being nothing. We smelled it, went back in, so like stuff like that. Joe closed us out. I know you got in a fight in the middle of the theater. Give us some Jerry Springer type stuff.
Really, you did.
No, I was lying.
I killed her.
Well, I don't know if my stories can be anywhere close to your guys' awesome stories about your terrible experiences in the theater, but I don't know. For me, all my experiences pretty much just related to another in particular film. If anybody remembers the movie with Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy in
Goldfinger.
I just watched that a few days ago.
Yep. When their movie is at the premiere and they go and they sit down, where do they sit down? In the very front and in the corner. And those are very much and it's happened to me so many times. One in particular that I remember was when back in 1993 was Hocus Pocus.
Oh, wow.
It came out, went to the theaters. I could not, because this movie didn't even have a lot of hype back then, but we went to the theaters, and this is here in Del Rio. The whole theater was packed. Where do we sit? In the very front, in the very corner, and we were just crouching our necks the whole entire time. I mean, it ruined the whole entire movie. I mean, the movie, to me, I think it was great. It was one of the best movies that I grew up with. So I'm cranking my neck the whole time, and I'm just like, man, this movie's awesome, but my neck fucking hurts.
To this day, man.
Yeah,
it makes no sense why they put seats that close.
Right. And it's still here, like we don't have that whole, buy your seat number and all that.
Yeah.
You gotta rush in there and try and find your seat. So like how it was with Avengers Endgame, man, I got there 2 hours early just to make sure that I was gonna get a good seat because I had a whole party coming with me. And so luckily we didn't even have to wait in line. They just let us come in, and luckily we were the first ones there. We got good seats, great time. So excellent moment. But another one that happened was in April 2016 when The Jungle Book, the live adaptation of The Jungle Book came out. Oh man, I don't know what I was doing, but I was super busy, and I said, no, I got to go watch this movie, and I have to watch it today. So I went ahead. Man, I was already late. I was like 10 minutes late. I go in there. There was nothing left but 2 seats in the very front in the corner. I was like, no. I sat down. Yep, my neck was like, oh, God, man. And I love this movie. The only thing I could think of is, you know what, maybe I'll just sit on the floor in the very back of the theater. Probably enjoy it a lot more better that way. So, but I never did. And the movie was great, but the seating arrangement was terrible. And then the last one was December 2018 with the premiere of Aquaman. Damn it. Oh man, I hated the movie because I couldn't understand it because my neck was hurting the whole entire time. I had to go watch it another time in order for me to like it before I did my video review, because if I were to have done a review with me hating the movie, I was going to regret it because the movie was freaking awesome. I love the movie. And so, but yeah, I mean, just that whole thing with the cranking of the neck, man, those are my most terrible experiences I've ever had while having to enjoy a movie in a theater. So, but like I said, it's not as great as your guys's, but I mean, when it comes to that, I mean, that's possibly the only thing I could possibly
Sound like you had a lot of those neck
Right.
experiences.
Yeah.
That's the second.
And it's interesting on how I remember the specific dates as to when it actually occurred. That's how bad it hurt.
The second time I went to see The Force Awakens, I went with one of my friends, and late-ish, like, it was just like, it was still like the number one thing in the universe. It was like everyone was still seeing The Force Awakens. And the only thing that was left when we got there was the front row. So we like sat, we were like, all right, let's see. And I think it was the Warcraft trailer was playing, like when we walked in, like we were later than I normally am. I forget why we were late. But like I just remember sitting down, looking up, and not being able to understand what was happening. Like it was like the and everybody was fighting, and I was like, all right, this is a nose goes for me. So like we left and like returned our tickets and went and did something else. Like it was so bad there that I couldn't have sat for 2 hours. I was I can't sit and watch the movie. It was like there was a glare because you were so close, and
it looks distorted when you're that close too. Yeah, the head is small, the body's big, and
yeah. When the very first time I ever went to the IMAX, it was for The Dark Knight, and like I don't think they reserved seats in 2008. I don't think that we showed up probably right before it started, but we got 2 seats, very front, right in the middle, and I don't know, my wife wasn't with me at the time, but she was like in the restroom. She was there, and I'm sitting there like sitting down. I'm getting dry humped by the Watchmen trailer. And I was like, man, like this isn't gonna work. And we went to the top, and like they brought us like chairs, like it was cool. But yeah, I think everybody's had bad seats. That's why I show up so early now.
Yeah,
I've got to get there. Like 25 minutes is like for like a regular movie. If it's like a giant event, I'll still try to get there early. But now it's a little easier when they use your seats.
Yeah.
But it's like, I went to Infinity War, like, had my tickets, and, like, had my seats. They weren't perfect seats, but they were pretty perfect. Like, I would have liked to have been a little closer, but at the time I was like, all right, I know where my seats are. Like, walked in with some lady and her dumbass kid were sitting there taking a selfie in my seat. And, like, I had to awkwardly tell her, like, I was like,
sorry, dude.
right.
And I was like, and she was like, really? Wow. Okay, and like, I was like, how did you get in here without choosing your? But that shit happens all the time. Like when it's crowded in an aisle, there's always some dumbass in there like doesn't know where the aisle is, like can't do the alphabet, doesn't know. Like they'll walk up and they're like, I think this is us, and then the daughter will be like, no, Dad, we're way up there, and it's like, how did you get a driver's license? Like, how have you survived? Like.
I'll tell you one even sillier. It's Avengers Infinity War. We were sitting down and next to us. A couple came in and they're like, hey, you sit in our seat. And the person sitting in the seat like, no, this is ours. The guy who was up was technically right, but this dumbass came on the wrong day. His ticket was for the next day. And he was huffing and puffing too, like, dude, this is like wow. How does that happen?
That was a punishment on Impractical Jokers a few weeks ago. The guy that lost. Any of y'all watching Practical Jokers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you know who Q is, right? Are you caught up?
Yeah. No, not caught up. I know who you talking about.
Okay, one of his punishments was having to approach people and tell them that they were in the wrong seat. Like, I won't go into details because it was hilarious. But before we close it out, any final thoughts?
I said that he said his movie stopped, and that happened to me when I went and saw Bad 2. So it was exactly as cliffhanger as anything. It was like I have to know the ending.
Come back on Christmas.
Like it stopped, and it was like a smaller theater, so it was like kind of full-ish. Everybody just kind of collectively, and like it stopped maybe 10 minutes, and manager comes out like, all right, we're gonna get this thing started, and thank you for your patience. started again. It maybe goes for like another half hour and then stops again. We all just, oh. And then she came out with like, all right, we give you free tickets because we can't figure out what's wrong with it. So like I had to wait like 2 weeks to finish Bad Santa 2. Like online. It left me in plans for 2 weeks. I was like, Bad Santa, is there gonna be a 3? But I was like, at least it happened on that and not like some massive like.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. I just feel like there's always something with some fucking kids, and it's like I said, like I go see movies by myself. That's kind of weird. Like the only time it feels weird is when it's a kids movie. Like, but I'm not always by myself. Like when I went and saw Zootopia, I was like we just took a day when saw Zootopia, and full of kids, and it was like the family behind me had like an infant, like probably like 1 or 2 years old, and he straight up, was up out of his seat, just kind of doing its thing, like, and I'm like, whatever. At one point, he hung on my arm.
All right.
My arm was on my armrest, and I just started feeling these little hands, like he was just hopping or doing his thing. And he was just hanging on my arm, and like I didn't know how to react. Like I was like, I don't know. I feel like if I stay and let it happen, that enters creepy territory. Did you say anything that the child was hanging on you? And I was like, I don't know. Yeah. But I didn't want to like turn around and be like, can you get this fucking child that doesn't know any, was it bothering me? Yeah. But was it like hurting me or anything? It's like, not really. So I just kind of like gave him a shake. I was like, I don't want to like throw my elbow back and like knock this child. Like, but it's like also thing, like when you're sitting and watching a movie, like the kids go down the stairs. They never walk down the stairs. They jump, like they hop, and they wear this fucking light up shoes. And then that's all you see. Like I'm watching Cars. You just like, some just like light up ass shoes, and then they run down the hallway in their shoes. And it's like
we spoke of it,
but it's like you can't really get that mad.
Yeah, but with children you expect it, but when it comes to adults, I know we spoke of it. The first It that came to theaters, me and my wife saw it, and it was like a damn high school field trip. I thought the movie was PG-13 for a second. And but with children, like say infants and probably kids under 10, but when it comes to adults, it's just like no excuse. Adults on the phone, talking to each other. It's just, and it's something about going to see a movie at a movie theater. You can have the biggest screen at home, but it's just something that movie theater experience that I'm sure we all appreciate. And
it's an event. It's like every single movie. It's like people just don't get that. They're like, oh, let's catch this movie. And it's like, to me, when I was little, getting to go see a movie was like a big deal. Yeah. It was like, oh my God, we're seeing Mulan today. I can't wait. And it kind of carried over into my adult life a little bit. Like even seeing a stupid movie, you're like The Hustle. It's like, I made a plan to go see this today. This is what I'm doing. And it's like, that's like bothers me when someone else doesn't do that. It's like they
like you said, it's just people saying, "Oh, let's just go check out a movie," and people just want to be entertained. I understand that, but the average moviegoer doesn't appreciate the medium of film, appreciate filmmaking. I went to go see a movie where a couple stormed out of the movie. They were pissed. Man, this movie's some bullshit. Guess what movie it was? Inglourious Basterds.
This movie's racist. And it's like,
it wasn't even that. It was just the movie is bullshit. They thought it was boring.
Yeah. I actually thought of this a minute ago. I actually have two things. The movie Mother. I don't know if anybody ever saw that.
I haven't seen it. That's not the Aronofsky movie, right?
Yeah.
That's Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, and I haven't seen it.
Like, there was like a whole thing when that movie came out about its cinema score, which I just thought was real bullshit. Like, it got an F.
Yeah.
And when I went and saw it, some lady walked out like 10, 15 minutes into the movie. Like nothing had even happened yet. Like
Right.
the plot hadn't even like started to simmer yet. She just walked out. I've never, and like I said, like I've never walked out of a movie. Like usually if I pay for it, like I'm gonna sit through it. If it sucks, I'll just ream it online or something. But like I'm gonna sit through it. Like the lady watched like 10, 15 minutes of the movie and just left. And to me, I was like, okay, so her opinion on the cinema score matters just as much as like mine. So that like gets on my nerves. Like it's like you just decide you're like, oh well, this movie's trash, and it's like, well, did you even get it? Like you didn't even get the gist of the movie. But I also was thinking when we were having a friend of mine. This didn't happen to me. The same movie when he went and saw Mother at a theater downtown. He was like, a few of my friends were talking about it online and saying like some of them liked it, some of them didn't get it. And he commented, he was like, well, I don't know if I liked it or not because a drunk ass girl got up in the middle of the movie and stood in front of the screen and just started taking a piss right on the floor.
Wow.
I was like, I'm so glad I didn't go with you. Like,
Should have had him on this episode.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, where are you at, Nick, located?
Huh?
And where are you located?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Randy and Joe, if you all have, I take it you're South Texas, because I'm north. I'm basically Dallas. And there's a chain of movie theaters, Alamo Drafthouse. And have you heard of them?
I've been to one in San Antonio. That's where I saw Bad Words.
And they take that BS seriously about well, they take that serious about that BS. They said if somebody's giving you truth, they actually make little shorts about people being rude. And they said if you have a problem, you there's some of them you could text or you could write on a little piece of paper because they have it, you know how it's set up, and tell them that you're having trouble. They have zero tolerance with disruptive people. If you get your phone out, they'll kick you out. And more theaters need to buckle down on that. And of course, Joe, Randy, and I, we live in Texas. So some idiots come in and talking, and can you be quiet? It ain't gonna be, Texas. Any idiot can, legally be carrying a gun on them. You know what I mean? And I myself, I legally carry, and I'm not trying to get into no BS over. You shouldn't have to deal with that. You're not the only person in the theater. But,
yeah. Like that's what I want. I want the MPAA to crack down. Like I doubt many theaters really enforce the 17 rule, the R-rated rule, but like do that on the other end too, man. Like stop allowing kids who aren't gonna be quiet and sit still in a theater, like 3-4 years old and younger, should not be in a movie. I don't care if their parents are there or not.
Like I don't know how all these kids got in for it. All these teenagers. Yeah. That's a hard R movie. And
like if anybody has a stroller, it shouldn't be like
dice.
It should be like, you know what? That fucking dude needs to walk.
Right. Your kid can't walk. Get out of here.
Yeah, like if he's not walking and forming thoughts into words, and then no, he's too young to even be at the theater.
And I understand.
We can talk about if he's old enough to actually conduct himself. I think
right.
The cutoff time is 6.
And people speak of and somebody mentioned infants and stuff like that. If you can't get a babysitter, I understand sometimes it's hard. I guess it just wasn't meant for you to see the movie this weekend. And babies crying, and somebody brought a damn infant to see Django Unchained.
When the Saw 3 story I told a minute ago, lady brought a baby. I remember thinking she brought a baby into Saw 3 that night.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the baby making any noise. He must have just been asleep. But,
you just got to have some type of consideration. I guess we're not going to see this movie, honey. Stay at home and Netflix.
Yep. But, man, I want to wrap this up, man. Like, every time you guys come on, it's stupid fun. I think next episode I want to shift to TV. I don't know if I want to talk about this year of the CW DC shows as a whole, or maybe Game of Thrones. We'll see what news comes up, man. Eric, man, I know that you changed your Instagram handle, man. The artist formerly known as Sigmund 7 Cinema.
It's the Sigmund Cinema.
I'm about to say it's a small change, man, but if anybody trying to look you up, I think that's it, man. So when I come back on this podcast, we're gonna talk about that Deontay Wilder fight. I'm gonna talk about that Logic, man, Rec League podcast. Stay tuned. And now we back, man. We back with sports, man. I hope you guys enjoyed all the movie discussion. Like I said at the top, man, if you have anything that you want to add and put your 2 cents in as far as bad theater experiences, man, I am down to read those stories. I'm down to listen to those comments, man. It's sports now though, and like I said, like old man Lawrence, had prior obligations, last minute. Life happens, things came up. So Deontay Wilder dropped old boy, like I'm not even gonna pretend to know his name. I don't follow boxing that closely. NBA playoffs, man, that's what my sports focus is right now. Sorry, NFL, OTAs, and all of that mess. Colts getting there. My Indianapolis Colts getting that offense hyped. I want to hear about that defense staying tight too, though. NBA playoffs, man, that's what I'm on. Denver got that Game 7 win. Knocked out. I'm sorry. I take that back. I take that all the way back. Way back. Portland got that Game 7 win in Denver. That's what I was thinking. And knocked out the Blazers on the road. The only road team to win a series. And they are now, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm to the point that I respect Steph Curry. I respect Golden State in their run. I'm tired of the Warriors, man. Like, I love to see change in championship matches. So I'm ready for Golden State to regress, get upset, not make it to the finals. I love the Blazers. Dame Lillard is one of my 3 favorite point guards in the league, honestly, behind Curry and Westbrook. I want to see Dame in the finals. I want to see Portland in the finals. CJ, Enes Kanter, who I just don't like, is killing. It's killing defensively. And, like, it's just, man, Golden State is just too much. Golden State they have too many weapons, and Durant's not even playing. That Kawhi Leonard 3 is epic. How Kawhi Leonard eliminated the Sixers. And personally, I like the Dame buzzer beater over Paul George more. It was just so about it. It was just like, I don't know, like it's 2 sides of a coin. Like Dame had the clock, was dribbling, yak, Paul George in his face, and then Paul George hating, talking about it was a bad shot. He was hating because Dame waved. Dame said goodbye, time to go home, OKC, and just like the run on the sideline, Kawhi threw it up. Embiid did as much as he could. The bounce, like it bounced so many times, and it went in. Like it was amazing. And like Kawhi is, a brick wall. Kawhi is so wooden, but he like the overflow of emotions that Kawhi Leonard just exploded with when that shot went down. Like that was crazy. That's why I love basketball. And then on the flip side, people want to clown, people want to be immature, people who ain't ever worked and people who ain't ever competed want to try to down Joel Embiid for his reaction. I love Joel Embiid's reaction, man. He just broke down in all the tears. Like, it's the playoffs, your season is over. The way it ended, like I don't even know how else to say it. Like that's the spirit of competition, man. When you want it so much and it just in a blink, I mean in a bounce, in 3 bounces, just crushes you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the Eastern Conference, so Pacers gonna have to deal with Philly. But Philly gonna be around, man. As long as they got Joel Embiid and supporters, because like analysts are saying that they maybe should trade Ben Simmons. I mean, for who? If they re-sign Jimmy Butler and they got Joel Embiid, man, Philly's gonna be a problem. And all of that fire Brett Brown talk was ridiculous. Like he's one of the best coaches in the league, man. He come from that Popovich tree. And the Bucks are giving it to the Raptors. I mean, like on this day as I record, Game 3 is about to start in Toronto for the Eastern Conference Finals, and I fully expect Toronto to get at least one. But yeah, like it's looking like a 1-versus-1 Bucks Warriors NBA Finals with Milwaukee having home court, and I would be ready for all of that. Like that was my finals prediction when the playoffs started. Like go back and rewatch the tape. But I mean, like aside from my Pacers getting swept, I've loved this NBA playoffs, and like it came back around because I mean Milwaukee got the gentleman sweep on Boston. I'm gonna come back though, and I'm gonna drop these bars right quick. Then I'm gonna talk about that Logic, man. Rec League, baby. Yo, enough for this tomfoolery, buffoonery. Working these bars ain't nothing new to me. Ladies, let's fast forward to the nudity. Young rappers amusing me. They missing, but they shoot at me. Recognized as goats, my crew is soon to be. The flow's ill, these dudes got no skills. What I know's real, my notes ill. Palm to the face, to the brain, the nose kills. Killing these dudes, I hope they wrote wills. Inheritance before they perishing. They parents is embarrassing. They marriage is in shambles. This is just an example. Y'all could never hold a candle to Randall. Step up and get canceled. Make your ass an example. Yo. Bomb shit. I drop shit. Got love for my dogs like I'm John Wick. Stop it. You are not it. Clown on that ass until you feel mocked, bitch. Zion on that ass. Top pick. You don't return a profit. That's a lock, bitch. Fire with the flow. Watch the flame simmer. Enraged temper when these lames whimper. Even though they wrong, some would say the current throne game been a lame winter. If you hating, you can just bounce like Kawhi's game winner. Alright, last segment, man. Rec League Podcast, episode 17, man. I hope y'all dug it. I hope that y'all telling y'all friends about the show. I hope that y'all going back, revisiting shows that you might have missed, man. Whether it's audio only, whether it's on YouTube, man. It's all appreciated, man. Spread the word, no doubt. Rec League cannot grow, cannot prosper without a fan base. And that's y'all. It's all appreciated, man. But yeah, like last episode, me and Old Man Lawrence, we chopped it up. Logic released one track with Eminem, Homicide. And then come to find out, like days after the show got posted, that the album came out, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. And that came out, like 2 Fridays ago? Excuse me. I think it was the first Friday in May, like the same time frame that Everybody came out. And man, I'm trying to stay into Logic, but it's getting hard, honestly, man. Like, he can spit. Logic can spit, but he just ain't been on the same, like, not stuff. Like, I don't want to, like, y'all want the old J, go buy my old albums. Like, that's the mindset. Like, every time a rapper, like, change something up, like, that's the mindset everybody rides with. You want old such and such, go buy my old albums. And I got Logic old albums. I got Logic old mixtapes. I haven't been in love with a Logic project since Bobby Tarantino. I don't think Everybody was as all the hype. I don't think Bobby Tarantino 2 was all the hype. I think Young Sinatra 4 was fine. And that's the same with this. That's the same with Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, man. Like, he's talking about the same stuff. He's rapping really fast. He's, hey guys, look how fast I can rap. My daddy was black, my mama was white. My name is Logic. He getting more brave using, dropping N-bombs and whatnot now. Like the Eminem track is dope, but the rest of the features, I have to question. Like, I've never been a G-Eazy fan, so like I didn't really dig that track. I've never been a Gucci Mane fan. I didn't really dig that track. The Wiz Khalifa track was fine. Cocaine was fine. Keanu Reeves was fine. He got Will Smith on a feature. And I hate to say it, like, Will Smith is one of my favorite actors, and I'll bump some DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, but Will Smith verse on this album was not very good. He got a track toward the end with his dad. His dad's not even rapping. His dad's just talking shit at the end. And I can't be mad at that. Like, that's Nas type shit, getting your relatives on the track. Like, it's cool. Like, no bars really stood out. A lot of the production sounds similar to the rest of the production. Like, I don't know. Like, I think I said when we was talking about the It trailer earlier in the episode, I think I said that I started listening to the audio book again. So like mainly this summer until I finish listening to the It novel before the movie comes out. I'm not really bumping any more music, and by the time I can bump music again, I'm probably not bumping this Logic. It's fine. Like, it's a serviceable album. I just think Logic is stuck in this pop stratosphere. Like, he's caught the pop wave. He like high school white girls like Logic, and he keeps talking about the same stuff that he was talking about when that wave hit. There's no real growth. Like, we know Logic, you biracial. The album cover art is dope. Other than that, like this is a forgettable album in my opinion, and like, I hate to say that. I think the production was fine. Nothing stood out. Like, it's all high tempo, so Logic can rap real fast, and like, not very many bars caught my ear. And like, I liked one feature. So, in my opinion, like, I can give this an almost dope. Like, I can give this a 3.5 out of 5. And that might even be generous, man. As I've said multiple times in this episode, regarding the Logic album, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. Hit me with a voice message. Let me know what you thought about this Logic. And since this is the end of the episode, let me know, drop a comment regarding whatever. If you add movies to your collection, because new releases, if you go into the movies because of new releases, let me know what's up, man. Like, I'm down for audience interaction. Who you pulling for in the playoffs? Stanley Cup, NBA. Like I said, Roberto will be on future episodes. I'll talk about NBA Finals on future episodes. I want to talk either about this whole year of the DC CW, or I want to talk about Game of Thrones. Like I said, probably around June 16th. So, at Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, at Rec League Pod on Twitter. Hit me up, man. My name is Randy Little. This has been episode 17. Peace.